for a while, but let's see what we have coming up for you. Six of Cups. This is nostalgia. This is looking back. Now more than ever, it kind of feels like nobody wants to look back. It's like, I don't want to do that, especially with Mercury retrograde. It's been this energy of looking back. But that's what retrogrades are for. They allow us to kind of, it's that, rethinking something, reevaluating. That's what the Six of Cups is showing here. You might be looking back, and it might be looking back at a time when you were happy. Sometimes we talk about past life relationships and connecting with someone and that. I'm not getting that so much in this reading, not with the Two of Wands that underneath it, because you have to look at how the card plays out with everything else. Kind of feels the underlying energy second half of April is this energy of, well, that was when I was happy, or that was a dream that I used to have, or when things better when I was a kid, or that. Looking back at what was. Now, every card, no matter how good, no matter how bad, no matter how ugly it is, it has a full spectrum of energies. Lighter, darker, positive, negative. Has all of that. The Six of Cups, yeah, it's nostalgia, happy memories. Even if something awful and difficult has happened, is now we can look back at it feeling a little bit better about it. This is a harmonious energy. Sixes are harmonious numbers. However, and you have two sixes here, we can have our rose tinted glasses on a little bit. So if someone's come back from the past, or a situation's come back from the past, it's not a time to look at it with rose tinted glasses. It's look at it as it is. It might have been great then, but you are in a different place now. So it's evaluating that which happened, or that which you wanted or felt in the past, with where you are right now. That's kind of backed up, underlined, underscored, whatever you want to say, highlighted by the world. This is at the heart of your reading. And this is coming up for so many people. There's cycles completing. There's things that you're done with. It's completed. It's finished. It's done. That's the world. Now, that doesn't mean that a job's ending or a relationship's ending. Yep. For some people, that's how it transpires. But the card itself doesn't show that energy. What it shows is that you have successfully completed a cycle. This is the card for Saturn. It's all that karma stuff, lessons we were meant to learn. We all get something, even if you don't believe in karma and fate and souls and all of that kind of stuff. You do things like a job. You take on a job, right? To grow, to learn, to experience something. And everyone hits that kind of point where it's like, I can get nothing more out of this. So you need to change things up. Then a new cycle begins because you've learned everything that you can from that job or that relationship at that point. Time for something new. So it doesn't always mean that you end it, but it does mean that you go in a different direction, and that's coming up here. Now, coming up as the foundation of the past energy of this, the Eight of Wands. At its core level, this talks about of energy picking up, things speeding up. Can be a little overwhelming when that happens. And maybe that's where you're kind of pausing, like some things picked up. You might have gotten some communication. Like, look, we've got the Six of Cups and the Eight of Wands. Someone from your past, and that doesn't have to be a lover. It can be a friend, an old colleague that you used to work with, a family member, someone who might have sent you a message, like on Facebook or something. Oh God, I shouldn't be saying the F word, right? Everyone's going crazy about that at the moment. But yeah, so someone could have sent you a message. There's been some kind of communication. You've heard something about someone, and it's, even if it's someone brand new that you've been communicating with or talking to about a new job maybe, or a new relationship, it's taking you back somehow. And this is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to look back, especially when we've completed a cycle. It's like, well, okay, this is what I got out of that. This is what I did from this. But I did that cycle, but wasn't there this other dream that I had? Wasn't there this other idea of a relationship that I had? Weren't things sweeter then? There's that kind of energy coming up. So it's not about getting stuck in the past. I always see the Six of Cups as a motivator, a kind of glance back. We look back at what happened, but it's to help us go forward where we are right now. We have the Two of Wands coming up. So you might have sped along to this point. With the Eight of Wands, this is the wind in your sails, kind of pushing you forward, energy picking up. But with the Two of Wands coming up here in the present, it's telling you whatever path you've been on, that's done. That's done. For some of you, this will be, yeah, great, nice to take a walk down memory lane, but I'm going forward in a new direction. That's what the Two of Wands says. For some of you, it's just the memory of this that's motivating you. The Two of Wands is when that path is done, it's finished. We're not going back. We can't go back. The only options we have are to stay where we are with no growth, with our energy slowly ebbing away, losing this momentum that we had, And it might be that you've been talking to someone and now you're deciding, well, how do I go forward? What do I do with this? And so you're thinking, well, my last relationship went like this, or, we used to be like this. I don't know. So if you use this as motivation, as a way to analyze and understand a situation, that's amazing. That's great. If we're using this as like some kind of benchmark, like, well, I did this with that person, and, comparing people to other people or to a past that's long gone, because we're looking at it with rose tinted glasses, like, was that situation really that great? It's not so great, but you are going in a new direction. That's what this card says. You're at a crossroads. You have new options available to you. Now, I say there's two paths ahead of you, but honestly, you have every path, every potentiality available to you. So it's about picking one, deciding where you want to go. It feels like you might have got some information or communication advising you, or like giving you more information, more data on which way to go. But there's completions down here, completions. I don't know what it is that's making you feel nostalgic. I mean, for every single person, it's going to be something new. Maybe someone's come back. Maybe the situation you're in is reminding you of it. But this is key because it's underlying. So it's a major energy. But everything else talking about moving forward in a new direction. And the Two of Wands, it can be hard. Like, nobody wants to make the wrong choice, right? But maybe that's why we look back. Maybe it's one final glance back before we go off. But nobody wants to make the wrong choice. But there is no wrong choice. Whichever direction you pick, it's about knowing I'll make it work or I'll course correct. We're always afraid of the consequences. But at this point, the Two of Wands is like, which one are you going to pick? And it's wands, not just which one are you going to pick mentally, logically. What action are you willing to take to back up that decision? If you can make that choice, if you can pick that path, because remember, this doesn't just happen. This happens because of this. That decision is made. Where does it lead? Well, it leads to the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, it's an ace, so it's potential for a new beginning. But, those are just doorways. They're doorways that get presented to us. Do we walk through them? This one is asking you, are you going to walk through this doorway? Are you going to take this opportunity? But remember, this came after the Two of Wands. So it's first a choice or decision is made, then the opportunity comes, not the other way around. So some people might be waiting there trying to peer down the path and think, well, is there an opportunity down that one or the other one? Whichever one you pick, as long as you make a decision, there's an opportunity. And it's a victory card. We see a victory wreath here, crown on this sword, the sword of truth, held high in victory. Victory through clarity and the truth. Now you know which way to go. Now you know what you're doing. Now you understand what this meant. Now this is the new beginning, right? This is the completion, the ending. This is going forward with a new truth, a new perspective. Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, how we communicate them. Maybe a new way of communicating with someone. Some new truth that becomes apparent to you. This is what I want my relationship to be. This is what I want my work to be. And what's the advice? The advice is the Six of Wands. And like I said, this has been coming up for a lot of people as the advice. Hold your head up with pride. Hold your head up with pride. You can hold it high. We have this victory wreath here. Another victory wreath. Whatever you've done, whatever it is, like whatever this was that was going on here, some of you might be stuck here thinking, well, did I say the wrong thing? Did I do the wrong thing? What did that communication mean? Well, it becomes apparent here. But it's having pride in what you've done, being recognized for what you've done. For some of you, especially I'm getting for people that work online or work like with the internet, messaging back and forth, social media, this is recognition for that work. Maybe you haven't been recognized for it. Like that's what you're sat here waiting for, thinking, I've put in that effort, I've been doing this. Where's the victory? Well, it's here. 2 success, well, 3, you've got out of 6 cards, 3 of them talk about a victory. But it's about saying, this is what I've done. Look at me. That's the 6 of Wands. He comes riding back into town, sat on his horse with the victory wreath. They don't put him up there. They then come out to see him and they're like, wow, who's this guy come back? And he's like, well, look at what I achieved. I just went and fought that war. I just went and did that diplomatic mission. I did whatever. And he's recognized for it. Readings. Okay, so have a look at this. Like the Hierophant is, what rules are you conforming to? What are your traditions? What are you doing? Are you going to do things the way you've always done them? Or are you going to go in a new direction? This might be you committing to something new. It's the card for Taurus. Some of you might be dealing with a Taurus. What other? We don't really have any other signs coming up. So, this, and it's looking at where do your traditions come from? Where do your rules come from? Are they what your family taught you? We're all doctors, so you're going to be a doctor too. Or what your religion teaches you. that this is what's good, this is what's bad, this is considered evil, this is being in your light? Or are you going to listen to society? You can't be in that kind of relationship. The age difference is too much. It's from different cultures. Like, who are you going to listen to? Because you commit to it, you conform to it. Now, this might be an actual commitment to a company, to a relationship, to anywhere that has even a relationship has rules, right? If it's a healthy relationship, you'll have healthy boundaries, the kind of rules of engagement, the rules of conduct. And this is one of the marriage cards for me, because, that is a tradition, how you commit to someone through that. Maybe that's the end goal. That's where you're headed. Like, you're trying to find a path to this kind of commitment. But you're being asked to commit now. Maybe that's the big kind of, I don't know what to do. We've been talking for a while, communicating for a while. Don't know what's going to happen. 3 of Pentacles here. This is planning for the future. And this is also a card of recognition. So you have 2 cards of recognition here. Being recognized for the work that you've done. The messages have been like that. I mean, I always try to read the messages like that, but this time they've even more so been like that. When you get cards like the World and the Fool, these are all encompassing. That's not just one area of your life. That's all areas. That's a major life change. There's a knock-on effect there. So this might be at work, being recognized by your bosses or the team that you work with. You've been putting in that teamwork, compromising to try to move ahead on a project or a plan. But it's a 3. What action are you going to take for the future? What plans are you making for the future? Ties in beautifully with this. 2 of Wands. And there's change rolling through town. We have death coming up here. This is card for Scorpio. This kind of talks about it's slow energy, but it's never a surprise. Whenever death shows up, you feel that shit a mile off. Like, things start going from your life. You're not interested in hanging out with those people anymore. You're not feeling the same way about this anymore. That hobby that you thought you loved, things start to go. Why? Because there's new energy coming in. A new truth that's being born here for you. Right. I think the biggest point here is that what direction do you want to go in? You have all the information and it's the combination of past, present and future that you're kind of combining here. Well, this is where I was. This is the information that I have for now. Where do I want to go? Where am I headed? What spaces have been left in my life that I want to fill now? What do I want to fill them with? Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So yeah, it could be taking a step back while you're trying to figure this out. But I always find it interesting that these 2 are going off together. It almost looks like they just got married. Hierophant, right? It has a kind of honeymoon feel about it, but it's kind of like going off to be alone. So you may be doing this with someone else. May not be alone that you're doing this. I kind of also see this as like a retreat. If you're looking at starting a new relationship or a new start within that relationship, that's where the 6 of Cups is coming in. How did we used to be? What did I used to want from relationships? What's my past relationships been like? What's the dream that I have? Do we feel like we've known each other forever? It's all of those kinds of things. And then taking a moment to figure out where you're headed, because, with that information. Even the World card talks about, yes, that cycle's completed. You've reached the top of that mountain, but it's time to enjoy the view. Enjoy the view for a moment. Take a moment, enjoy it, because you're heading in a new direction very soon. All right. There we go. Romance. Lavish the one that you love with your personal attention and affection. It's been a strange old time. I know it has been for Sagittarius. I mean, I've been reading for quite a few Sagittarians, and I have a Sagittarius rising, as a lot of you know that. It kind of, as much as like we kept complaining about Saturn being in Sagittarius, it's been kind of strange not having Saturn there, right? And then it's been that shift in energy, and things have been, I kind of feel like that is what this is as well. That, what we went through during that time, things are starting to come together. And I think for the first time, we're truly looking at what we learned during that time and where we're headed. Like, what's the new direction? What's the new truth that we have? So we lost so much has gone, and so much, it's not even taken away from us. We've given up on things. We have new truths. But what are we planning for the future? And so, sorry, I was talking about this romance. If there is someone, maybe that's the point. You've been talking to someone, getting to know someone. And that's a very simple message for some of you, a romantic message, that it kind of feels like you've known this person forever. You've gotten to know this person better with this. Now you're thinking, well, where am I going to go? Am I going to commit to this person? What does the future look like here? No right or wrong answers. You'll come up with your own truth. And you can hold your head up with... why do I keep saying that wrong? I've said it so many times. You can hold your head up high with pride. Like, you'll know that I did the right thing. As long as you follow your own truth. Time to go. Now, it's interesting. Have a look. So we have these two cards of like people kind of retreating or walking away. Now, this could be argued as a retreat, right? So it's like disconnecting, going away temporarily. This might be a situation that you are fully leaving behind. Now, it doesn't have to be that you're walking out of a relationship or a job, but I will tell you this, with death coming up here, this is a long time coming. Something that's maybe you've just got one foot left in it, but you're done with it. World as well, right? Done. It's finished. The energy is done there. And that's what this says. It's time to go. It is time to go. And you know that. That's why I was getting with the Six of Cups. For some people, it's like one final glance backwards. And please don't worry. I'm not saying things are completely ending in your life. The cards always talk about energies. You can go to the same job every day for 5 years and then you decide, I don't want to do this. I'm going to do things differently. And you shift things up. That's new energy that comes in. You begin to do things differently. The change always comes from us. We are always the ones that shift. So this is almost like Eight of Cups. You're emotionally done with this. It's time to get out of there. Yeah, we can kind of figure out. And for some people, it might be that you know where you don't want to be or what you don't want to do. And you're trying to figure out what your next move is. But, make a choice, any choice. It's going to lead you in the right direction. I know some people they complain that I'm like a too positive a reader, but that's how I treat my life. Like, anything, and quote unquote bad stuff does happen in my life, but for me, it's always an opportunity. And I would encourage other people to do that too. I'm not going to give up my power to something that happens in my life that is difficult. Maybe I need that difficulty to go on, but whatever the case, whether I need it, don't like it, don't like it, it's happened. Death, right? Death's gone through. So I need to figure out the best move for myself. And I will always pick something. Sometimes we stand there and we think, seriously, this is happening. But at the end of the day, we have to pick a new direction. And I'm not even getting that here. There's not even if you have a look, there's not difficult energies here. It's just going in a new direction and you feel ready to do it with this. You're ready to do it. Some of you might be just glancing back though. What does it say? Well, it says, dearest you, everything is in divine order. Even in chaos, there is order, and we are always in awe of this. For you, though, on your human journey, things can get disorganized in your mind and physical reality. You need to get rid of the clutter, whether it be too many stories in your mind, too many what-ifs, or fearful thoughts of the past or future. Instead, focus on the now. Empty your mind, clean your house, and throw out any object that tells you an uncomfortable story. Discern what you have, sort, purge, clear, and organize. We want you to have space. That's death, right? Remove the stuff that doesn't serve us anymore so that there's space for new, wonderful things. We want you to have space to fill with something better. Spirit loves a vacuum as it gives space for brilliant new energy. Let go of what is not serving you and give order to what remains. See them and know their value. Your soul needs organization in order to keep your connection to us and to spirit free of distractions. You are adored by so many. We hope you really know that. And the Six of Wands shows that, right? Someone who's adored by so many for what they've done. So that's kind of valuable advice, especially if those of you that are really stuck on, you need to make a new decision. You have to go forward in a certain way, but you're just not sure how to do it. Well, that then is valuable advice on how to do that.